Hey, what's up guys, Accountivision here. In this video, we're going to go over books of parliamentaries. I'm going to start with an overview of what they are, then I'll go in detail with different types of parliamentary books, and I'll end the video with a summary. So let's take a look at an overview. Well, there will be different transactions relating to the accounts, and each account will get summarized into one total, which will then get transferred to the parliamentary books. That will help us categorize whether they will be entered in a general ledger that records accounts other than the customers and suppliers, or a sales ledger that records the customers, or a purchases ledger that records the suppliers. So let's look at the types of parliamentary books. There is a sales daybook, there's a sales returns daybook, there's a purchases daybook, purchases returns daybook, cash book, and the general journal. Let's look at each one in detail. So let's look at the sales daybook. Sales daybook records goods that are sold on credits. So we're going to have a date on when that happens, we're going to have our customers, we're going to have our invoice numbers, and we're going to have a total. That total you see here, that £500, that represents all the list of our customers that has been added. That £500 will then get entered in the parliamentary books, which is the sales daybook, which will help us understand and know what double entry we have to do, which is to debit the sales ledger account, which is the customers, and credit the sales account, £500, like that. We can then move on to the sales returns daybook, which is an opposite to the sales daybook, which is basically goods that are returned by our customers. So we're going to have a date or when that has been occurred. We're going to have our customers. This time we're going to have a credit note and we're going to have a total. That total you see here, that £600, represents all the list of our customers. So that £600 will then get entered in the parliamentary book, which is the sales returns daybook. And then that's going to help us understand the double entry behind it, which is to debit the sales returns account and credit the sales returns ledger account, like that. Next, we have purchases daybook. That records goods that are bought on credit. So we're going to have a date on when that has happened. We're going to have our suppliers. We're going to have our invoice numbers, and we're going to have our total. That total you see here, that £500, represents all the value of goods that are bought on credit. So that's going to get entered in the purchases daybook, which will help us know and understand the double entry for them, which is to debit the purchases account and credit the purchases ledger account, like that. Moving on to the purchases returns daybook, that records goods that are returned to the supplier. So we're going to have a date on when that has happened, we're going to have our suppliers, we're going to have our credit note this time, and we're going to have our total. That £600 represents the value of all the goods that are returned to the suppliers. So that's going to get entered in the purchases returns daybook, which will help us know and understand the double entry for them, which is to debit the purchases returns ledger and credit the purchases returns account, like that. Here we have cash book. Cash book records money coming in and money coming out. The money coming in represents the receipts. Receipts records the sales ledger, which can be the customers, or it can record the general ledger, which can be stuff like rent receivables, or it could be the sale of an asset. On the right side, it's known as payments. That's money coming out, if you like. So that records the purchases ledger, which can be the trade payables or suppliers, or it can record the general ledger, which can be stuff like electricity or distribution costs. Finally, we have a general journal. General journal records accounts and transactions in detail, explaining why they have happened. So for example, on this date, a small business invests £1,000 into their business. So we're going to have a date on when that has happened, we're going to have the details of the account, and we're going to have a debits and credit column. The double entry for that is to debit the cash account and credit the capital account. Now we just need to write an explanation of why they have happened, which is the initial investment. And that's what it is for general journal. All you need is a date, the details of the account, debits and credit column, and write an explanation of why you have done that. Just to summarize, each account will have a summarized total that will get entered in the parliamentary books that will help us understand and categorize whether they will be entered in the general ledger, the sales ledger, or the purchases ledger. And if you found this video useful, give it a like, comment down below if you have any questions, or let me know if you've found this video useful and I'll continue doing it, and subscribe if you want to, it's your choice. And thank you for watching this video.